Greetings, fellow Facebookites and fellow YouTubeites. Let's get ready to rock and roll! Now, today is Monday, June the 3rd of 2013. And, of course, I'm sure that, now, you folks remember, maybe a month or two ago, I showed you this when I did a package opening, the complete series of All in the Family. Well, I'm sure many of you fellow Facebookites and fellow YouTubeites have heard this by now, but this past Friday, one of the stars of that show passed on. This lady right here. Gene Stapleton. Of course, you remember Carol Connor. He passed away back in '01. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, the other day I did a little post about that. I said Edith has gone to join Archie in that great big TV in the sky. Well, actually, in a way, I don't know if that's quite accurate, but because the reason why I say that is because, you see, you people might remember that after 9 seasons of All in the Family, you know, they kind of did a continuing show, kind of a different show, but more or less the same characters. You know, they called it Archie Bunker's Place, and that ran for I think it was 4 seasons. And when the start of the 2nd season, you know, it was revealed that the character of Edith had passed away. And it was also that beginning, that little deal when Archie was cleaning out the bedroom and noticed one of Edith's slippers. And he started weeping. You know, it's like Archie Bunker like you've never seen him before. You know. But yeah, Gene Stapleton, she was 90 years old when she passed on. So anyway, rest in peace, Gene Stapleton. And okay, and you know, when I did that package opening, I also mentioned about another complete series box set that I had gotten about a year or two ago. Hold on a second. I think I'll go ahead and show that to you. Okay. Yeah. This one, another long-running sitcom. One of the best cop sitcoms ever made. This was Barney Miller, the complete series. And I'll tell you what, you know, I'd already gotten they had released the first 3 seasons of Barney Miller, but since then no other seasons have been released up until 2 autumns ago, a year and a half ago. They released this box set. Shout Factory released this, and so anyway, and there are a few extras that come with this. On one of the discs, it includes a couple of featurettes about the show, and there is a pilot show called The Life and Times of Barney Miller, and of course, one thing it doesn't mention on the box, but it is included. You see, the very first episode of Barney Miller was the one entitled Ramon, about this guy named Ramon, this kid named Ramon who holds the 12th precinct hostage. He was a drug addict type, you know. I think that one you know, was shown in the syndicated form, you know, kind of cut short. But fortunately, on the final disc, they included the complete and uncut first episode. Okay, and so it's on this one. In fact, let me show you all the. Okay, now this is the one for seasons 1 and 2. Just hold it at this angle so I get all that shininess off. And then seasons 3 and 4. And oh, you know, I'll tell you what. Let me show you all many of that, because there were many cast changes. But I can tell you that besides the lead character of Barney Miller himself, played by Hal Linden, there was only one other character on that show who appeared in every single episode of that show in the 8 seasons that it was on. You know who that character was? This character right here, Stanley Wojciechowicz, a.k.a. Wojo, portrayed by Max Gale. And here's the other cast members. This guy right here, Chano Amenguale, I think that's how you pronounce it, kind of a Spanish name, portrayed by Gregory Sierra. Then there's Detective Harris, portrayed by Ron Glass. Sergeant Yamana, played by Ron Harris, and Ron Harris as portrayed by Ron Glass. Sergeant Nick Yamana, portrayed by Jack Sue, and Sergeant Phil Fish, Detective Phil Fish, portrayed by Abe Vigoda. Believe it or not, Abe Vigoda is still around. Now, Chano, this character here, Chano, he was only in the first 2 seasons of Barney Miller. And there was another cast member, Barbara Berry. She played Barney's wife, Liz Miller, but she started being less frequent on the shows, so they didn't. So after on the 3rd season on out, they didn't show her, you know, in the intro, you know. Okay, here's another one with all 5 of those minus Chano. Okay, seasons 5 and 6. Now, at the beginning of season 4, you know, the character of Fish was to retire from the 12th precinct. Of course, another character came along. This guy right here, Arthur Dietrich, played by Steve Landesberg. And now this guy right here, he was kind of a regular, but a few seasons he was shown in the intro. Inspector Luger, played by James Gregory. That right there, another regular. Okay, Officer Carl Levitt, played by Ron Carey. Okay. So, and season 7 and 8. Okay. And one other feature that this box set has, the complete first season of the spin-off show, Fish. You see? Because Detective Fish, when he retired, you know, he ran this little group home. He and his wife ran this little group home for, I guess, kids in trouble and stuff. Okay, now here's a little booklet that came with the DVDs. You know, see, this is the door to the 12th precinct squad room. Okay, and you know, all these See this telling a little story about the show. Okay. Oh, see that this lady right here? Let me show her. That's Barbara Barry. She played Barney's wife, Liz. You see? Okay. So. I'll tell you what, you know. There's Barney and Liz trying to. I guess it looks like they're kind of trying to make out, you know. See. Okay, and here's the, you know, these pages. They're showing the listings, you know. Now that spin-off show Fish, it only lasted 2 seasons. You see, the coffee. That was one of the notorious things about Sergeant Yamana. You know, he always made bad coffee. You know, and you know, speaking of Yamana and Jack Sue, you know, at the end of season 5, the last episode of season 5, you know, Jack Sue in January of what year was it? Yeah, January of 79. Jack Sue, he had cancer, and unfortunately, he passed on. So in May of that year, you know, instead of doing a little show like pretending that the character of Nick had passed on, you know, the creator of that show, Danny Arnold. Yeah, Danny Arnold didn't want to like cash in on Jack's death, so instead, for the last episode, they did a little something different for the last episode of the 5th season. Okay, they did this: Jack Sue, a retrospective. Okay, and it says here, the late Jack Sue, who played the 12th Precinct's Detective Yamana, is remembered in a series of clips highlighting his work on Barney Miller. Okay, see, it's whereas the cast, you know, they broke character. You know, they were playing themselves. You know, it's like because at the beginning, you know, I'm Hal Linden. With me is the cast of Barney Miller, and we're here to share with you a retrospective on Jack Sue. You know, something like that. And, you know, before Jack Sue did Barney Miller, you know, of course, let me show you the rest of the pages of this little booklet. Okay. See. There's Detective Fish, and yeah, see this these pages here highlight all the episodes of that first season of Fish. Okay, so who knows them? Oh, and check this out. You know, Hal Linden. In fact, you can go to his website to purchase this. Hal Linden, he a year or two ago recently did a CD of you know, he's saying, you know, he did a CD called "It's Never Too Late." Okay, so you can go to hallinden.net to see about purchasing that thing. So, okay. Anyway, Jack Sue, yeah, he did many other things. I know he was like in I don't know if he was on Broadway too, but I know he was at least in the movie version of the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Flower Drum Song. Okay. I know one thing. I never actually saw it, but I think he also played an Oriental doctor in. There was a movie. I can't remember what year it came out. It was in the 70s. There's a movie called She Lives, and it starred Desi Arnaz Jr. and Susan Hubley, and it was telling this story about this young woman who was suffering from cancer. Okay, and one other thing about that movie, I don't know if it's on YouTube or anything like that. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You can take a look to see, or at least you can always Google "She Lives" or maybe Google Desi Arnaz Jr. You know. But anyway, one thing about that movie featured Jim Croce's hit ballad "Time in a Bottle." As a matter of fact, that movie was just how, from what I understand, was how that ballad became a hit. Because there was a made-for-TV movie that was shown on the ABC network, same network as Barney Miller, and when they played that movie, you know, local ABC affiliates from all across the country were flooded with calls from people wondering, where can I get that record? I love that song, you know. In fact, I think that movie came out after Jim Croce had already passed on, you know. But anyway, but that's the way it is. And so yeah, Jack Sue, he passed on, and there were three other, and since Barney Miller had ended, there were three others who passed on. I can't remember the exact dates. Let me look it up for a sec. If you'll hold on for just a moment. I'm just going to look up Barney Miller. Okay, look at this Wikipedia right here. Okay. Now, James Gregory, he passed on in 2002. And Ron Carey, he passed on in 2007. And Steve Landersberg, the most recent one, he passed on in 2010. Okay. So, okay, so that's 4 members of the Barney Miller cast who have passed on. So, okay, well, but yeah, Barney Miller, yeah. Oh man, that sitcom, you know. And it's like you be hearing things like it's like, hey Barney, is Kelly just a big mouth, or is he really going to try to make trouble? I think Kelly is just a big mouth who's really going to try to make trouble. And things like it's like and this one episode where you know, Fish is trying to pull up his socks, but they won't stay up. And so he puts a rubber band around that sock, around his leg, and Barney goes, hey, wait a minute, Fish, that's not good for you. That can cut off your circulation. And Fish goes, I have no circulation. Wherever my blood is, that's it. Oh, man. And oh man, that's yep, they don't make shows like that anymore, you know. But so thank God for DVD box sets. So let me just go ahead and put this all back, and who knows, you know, they may release Fish, because like I said, Fish only lasted 2 seasons, you know. They may release it as a complete set for that, you know, a complete box set for that. And, you know, one thing I ought to do, consider doing one of these days is purchasing the very first season of Archie Bunker's Place. That's the only season that ever came out on DVD. They still have yet to come out with the other 3 seasons. So anyway, okay, well, anyway, I'm glad I got those out of the way. There's one more thing that I like to do. Now that I got all that other stuff out of the way, I want to give a birthday shout out to another friend of mine from high school. She was a flag girl in our marching band. This goes to Shannon Everson. Yeah, she still, I look at her pictures on Facebook, and she still looks, I still see the same beautiful flag girl I knew. So, happy birthday to you, Shannon. My love, and all my love, it goes out to you. Okay, well, anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'm glad I got all that stuff out of the way, finally. I was wondering, I wanted to talk to you about something. I wanted to come on here and do something besides give that birthday shout out. So anyway, that is going to do it for me for now. So, until next time, let's get ready to rock and roll! Crisscross applesauce out. See you later.